SADC facilitator Cyril Ramaphosa is expected to undertake a working visit to Maputo tomorrow for a consultative meeting convened to discuss developments in Lesotho.
Spokesperson for the Deputy President, Ronnie Mamoepa, says the meeting is part of ongoing SADC efforts to consolidate peace and stability in Lesotho. The consultative meeting is convened by the President of Mozambique, President Filipe Nyusi, in his capacity as a chairperson of the SADC organ Troika on politics, defense and security.
The consultative meeting will be attended by Lesotho's Prime Minister Pakadita Musisidi as well as Deputy President Cyril Ramaphosa. The consultative meeting is part of ongoing SADC efforts to consolidate peace and stability in the Kingdom of Lesotho. Now for an update on the Lesotho political impasse, we are joined on the line by our correspondent Ntakwana Ngatane. Thanks for joining us, Ntakwana. Now you indicated earlier that government is not coming forward with the necessary information to the Commission investigating the Lesotho crisis. Can you elaborate on this?
Indeed, Tabile, what has happened is that the chairperson of the SADC Commission in Lesotho, which is currently sitting in South Africa, where it is hearing opposition leaders that fled the country saying that they fear for their lives. Now, the chairperson, Judge Mphatisi Mapi from Botswana, who's been appointed by SADC, has expressed on a number of occasions his concern that, first of all, the army is not forthcoming with information in terms of what exactly happened to former Commander Mabarangwe Mahao. And he even appealed to Deputy Prime Minister Mothetwa Metsing when he appeared before the Commission to ask him to assist the Commission to ensure that the army is more forthcoming with information. Now, we've heard the Minister of Defense, Tshediso Mokgosi, last week when he addressed a media briefing saying that there would be more soldiers appearing in front of the Commission. But again, when they did, they were from the hospital, the Makwanyane hospital, where Mahao apparently was taken after he was shot. Again, another experience where the army was really not forthcoming with information. So this is one of the main concerns of this commission at the moment, that one of its main key issues is to find the perpetrators of Mahao's killing and bring them to book. And it says it is not getting nearer to that. Kabile?
Now, Ntakwana, government lawyers plan to challenge the admissibility of evidence before the commission. Why is this?
Well, what has happened is that, as I've said, Mahindra, last week the commission started hearing evidence in South Africa. Opposition leaders fled to South Africa, soldiers fled to South Africa, members of those opposition parties as well as other civilians fled to South Africa saying that they fear for their lives. And initially, they had requested SADC to give them security to go into Lesotho to testify. But eventually, the commission then decided that it would move into South Africa to hear their evidence. And when the chairperson announced that the commission would be sitting in South Africa from Thursday, that's when lawyers representing the government came forward and said the privileges and immunities that are offered under the laws in Lesotho, because the commission is constituted in Lesotho, would not apply in South Africa. And that would perhaps imply that the findings of the commission from that evidence might be inadmissible or might be contested or objected to by the lawyers. Now, this is one of the things that we perhaps think that the Troika meeting or the meeting with the facilitator and the chair of the organ might discuss tomorrow. And the outcome, of course, everyone is interested to find out what it will be. Mahindra?
Ntakwana, speaking of South Africa's participation here, SADC facilitator Cyril Ramaphosa visits Mozambique tomorrow in ongoing interventions. What's the latest?
Yes. First of all, the biggest thing that is happening, Tabile, is this commission that is now undergoing here in Lesotho that everybody's really looking at. What happened today is that we had the partner of former Prime Minister Tom Thabane giving evidence in front of the commission. We also had one of the leaders that have fled the country, Keketo Rantu of the Reform Congress of Lesotho, giving evidence in front of this commission. And in her testimony, Thabane's partner said that as far as he was concerned, it seems like former, or rather, Army Commander Tladika Mudi, who was removed by Thabane and then reappointed by this new coalition here in Lesotho, has been trying for a very long time to end Thabane's life. As far as Diabile Ramohudi and now Isaiah Thabane is concerned, she related a number of incidents, one of them being that one time when she walked into a meeting where she thought Gamodi was meeting with Thabane, Thabane was unresponsive. He was informing on the mouth, but as far as she can say, Gamudi was just sitting there not calling for help and not helping Thabane. And this is one of those incidents. One, she related from January 2014 when her house was bombed. And as far as she's concerned, she says that was because the people who are the suspects who had attempted to bomb the house, or who had bombed the house, were actually attempting to get to Thabane, but on that particular night, he was not available at the house and he had gone somewhere else. So these are just some of the things that are coming out of this commission. And the leader of Reform Congress of Lesotho, the opposition party, also coming out when the commissioner, Mokhosi, asked him today whether she thought Lesotho would get off the SADC agenda, saying that, in fact, the reason that Lesotho is where it is today is because of SADC. So these are just some of the issues that are coming out. This commission expected to sit for another 30 or so days, and it has gone into about 5 weeks. And some of the hearings have been in camera, some have been in public, and so we expect it to come out with a lasting solution for Lesotho if it does that.
Takwana, the South African presidency has talked about an oversight committee which will act as an early warning mechanism in the event of signs of instability in Lesotho. Is there any information about this that you can share with us?
At this point in time, Mahindra, this is one of those things that everybody has been waiting to find out how exactly it is expected to work. You remember that this came out at the beginning of July when the SADC Troika said following the death of former Commander Mabarangwe Mahao. And this is one of the committees that the SADC Troika at the time said needed to be constituted so that it would look into events before they happen in Lesotho. As it seemed at the time, the event of Mahao's death had caught everybody by surprise. But of course, there is the mutiny that is going on that the SADC Commission is supposed to investigate. And this is one of those things that seems to be bringing out a lot of issues that date back as far back as even 2012. And some people are saying that, or the army itself is saying that the mutiny itself started somewhere around the time that Gamudi was removed. But these are events that the country is dealing with, the relations between the army and the police, conflicting statements on that as well. The government saying there are no divisions, that the army and the police are working well. But the opposition saying that even within the army itself, there are divisions, and some of them were exacerbated by the return of Lieutenant General Gamudi. So these are just some of the things that we are hoping that perhaps when the facilitator meets on an ongoing basis with the government here in Lesotho, with the chair of the SADC Troika and with the SADC itself, perhaps will come clearer as time goes on. But at this point in time, we don't know how it's going to happen. Mahindra.
We'll have to leave it then, Takwana. Thank you very much for the update.
Thank you.
That was our correspondent from Lesotho, Takwane Ngatane, giving us the latest from that side.